Good morning, everyone. This is Kosala, also known as Marventus, bringing you yet another cast of a Diamond League game from a frosty morning here in the United Kingdom. In the top right-hand corner as the purple Terran, we have none other than Mr. Root QXC, and in the bottom left-hand corner as the red Zerg, we have Mr. MTWDimaga, one of my favorite pro Zerg players. Let us get a production tab up and see what's going on. Not too surprisingly, we are focusing on drones and we're focusing on SCVs because, let's face it, what else is there to do at this stage in the game? It is SCVs and it is probes. And as I always do, I have not seen this game ahead of time before casting because I prefer to do it kind of live-ish. So I am going to be as surprised as you as to who the winner is going to be. Let's see what's going to happen here. We have an Overlord heading into the Terran position, and we have a supply depot going down at the ramp as always. Now, sometimes I do notice that Terrans do wall off, and even Protoss wall off here in the front rather than up here at the top. I guess the only reason to do that is to stop people from running up the ramp and seeing what's over here. But QXC decided to go with the more traditional approach, walling off at the top. So supply depot is now down. I would imagine the state of income is pretty much even at this point. Let's take a look. Yep, roughly on the same levels, 12 to 13 harvesters, not a big difference going on there at all. Back to the production tab. Now, the question is this going to be one of these fast action games, or is this going to be a bit of a lengthy haul? Let's wait and find out. Now, is this Overlord staying parked in the mid? No, I was going to think he was going to stay parked over here, but it looks like he's actually continuing to head onwards. Right, look at these bulbous eyes of these Overlords. They do look unbelievably ridiculous. Imagine meeting one of those in an alley, right, on your own, on a dark night. Oh, I think not. Right, what's happening over here? We've got some fun and games here. We have Root QXC laying down an engineering bay to block off that expansion point. And MTWDimaga pulling off 4 drones to deal with that, and now chasing the SCV as it goes in here. No, heading back to do its mining there. The first gas going up for Dimaga, along with the spawning pool going down now at 16 supply. I imagine forced into the action a little bit because of this little snafu put down by QXC, because otherwise he would have plopped an expansion there, no doubt. So QXC doing a little shenanigans here, a little gamesmanship, right here, keeping MTWDimaga on his toes, right, with this peculiar placement of an engineering bay. Or when I say peculiar, I've seen this happen quite a few times now with Terran players. They do dump their engineering bay over there. And of course this engineering bay will get taken down in a little while. So I wonder why it is that an engineering bay and not anything else gets plonked down there. Somebody will have to explain that to me. In the meantime, here in the main base, we have the first barracks has gone up. We have another supply depot coming out, and the orbital command has happened as well. A couple of mules being dropped down there to deal with the economy, and here MTWDimaga has been droning away diligently. 2 rows of drones now working on minerals, and we've got 2 on gas as well. For some reason my frame rate dropped to 1 there for a second, can't imagine why. And we have a couple of Zerglings running after that SCV. Its life is doomed. Is it going to make it? It looks unlikely. Oh, it actually does. So the 2 Zerglings giving up now to focus on the engineering bay, which still isn't completed because of course the SCV buggered off before it could be killed. Now that engineering bay is definitively going to be taken down, and that expansion will go up there finally. In the meantime, what do we have here? We have a couple of Marines coming in to do some early harassment. QXC not letting down on that early harassment. He is keeping them coming. We have another Marine coming in. Is it possible we'll see a barracks being plopped up here as well? The SCV staying put there while the Marines make their way down. Have a drone coming in to lay down the hatchery, and in the meantime the Zerglings are going to get killed by 2 Marines. Now we have Metabolic Boost on the way, we have a Queen on the way, and we have a Roach Warren on the way. Yes, Dimaga adapting to the current situation by plopping out a Roach Warren nice and early in order to get a few roaches there. The drone has decided to move away from that point, which of course is a wise move because we've had to cancel it due to the Marines anyway. Now we have the SCV coming back for even more shenanigans. What is he going to be doing? Is he going to be dumping a bunker there? No, he's decided to move on upwards, but he's met with 2 queens, and that was the end of that SCV. There will be no more SCV harassment. The Marines also now heading back, having done the foray they expected to do. Now we have 4 Zerglings on the map for Dimaga, and finally that expansion looks like it is going down at 29 supply. Horrendously late, but nonetheless, there you go. Well, late I guess depends on which Zerg we're talking about. Right? When I do my matches, which are very severely in the Bronze League, I tend to put down my hatchery at 26 supply because of all the cheesing that tends to occur in the Bronze League. You simply have no choice but to develop some units first. Now we have a Hellion coming out there to harass those few Zerglings, who now immediately run back, Speedlings as they were actually, and the first 4 Roaches are now out as well. Now finally Dimaga managing to defend his space more seriously. That hatchery is definitively going to be going up, and that Overlord is hanging out in the middle of the map, watching how things develop. A couple of Hellions now coming in, but now with the Roaches in play, he is well set up to defend against this Hellion rush. Have a Queen heading down as well to put some creep down, which is important. The Hellion comes in, takes a look at the Roaches, and buggers immediately out, as indeed he should. The Speedling saw the Hellions coming there and got out of the way in time. Good for them. Now, back at the main base, we see a starport has come down along with the factory. So, 1-1-1 build running for QXC here. Right, getting ready to adapt into pretty much whatever. His mineraling looks nice and solid. Now we've got a cloaking field coming out as well, so we might be able to see some Banshee harassment on the way. The lair has almost gone up for Dimaga. Now what will he be transitioning to? Will it be Hydras? Will it be Mutalisks? That is the question. We got some Roach upgrades on the way as well. Now this is going to get very interesting. At this point, no detectors and very little anti-air aside from these 2 queens. What do we have coming in here? We've got even more Hellions making a foray down, poking in there, going back again, not going to engage. We have an SCV and a Banshee coming in over here. The cloaking field is just about to be done. This could get dangerous for Dimaga, who has not got. Diggity apparently left the game here from being an observer. Dimaga doing I don't know what, potentially checking for lag. And here the Banshee has arrived. And let's see how much trouble this is going to be. The Queen engages, but the cloak goes on. That's 2 drones down already, a 3rd one going down there, a 4th one going down there. This is looking ugly. That cloak does last for a good long while, and there is absolutely no anti-air and no detection for Dimaga at this time. All of those, and here comes the first Overseer. And now the Banshee is in trouble, getting away just in time. But 2 Queens, 1 Overseer, that's all he needs to deal with that Banshee. Is it going to make it, or is it going to die? It's dead. The Banshee harassment has been dealt with the judicious use of Queens and Overseers. Now, I really ought to get more Queens when I play, I just realized. 2 gases now up on the second base as well, but not being mined, because we just had a bit of a drone issue there. And the first base now well underway. Now, what's this? We have a Baneling's nest and an infestation pit coming up. Very interesting. More Hellions coming down. Those 3 Hellions simply not enough to do any kind of serious work here, because there are a few Roaches in play. 3 more Roaches on the way. So a Baneling's nest and an infestation pit. Interesting. A Banshee coming to do some harassment, but great creep spread here from Dimaga is keeping that Banshee at bay. Those Queens do move like wildfire on creep, which is always nice. What's going on here? We have the Overlord still holding its own in the middle. No Vikings to take that down so far. QXC appears to be posturing down to his front of ramp, which means he may well be setting up for an expansion himself. Yes, indeed. A new command center is about to go up, but at the same time he's pushing out as his command center goes up. He's pushing out with a Banshee, a few Marines, or 2 Banshees, and some tanks. Now, siege mode has not been researched, so let's see how this goes. He's coming in for a bit of a foray, taking down that creep as indeed he should. Now what is Dimaga going to counter with? He does have Queens out in play for the Banshees. He does have Roaches out for the tanks. I think he's got enough to deal with this. Let's take a look how this goes. That's 5 Queens out there. Those Banshees have no chance whatsoever, so he backs off immediately. 5 Queens on 2 bases. And QXC wisely moving back as he realizes that he is overmatched. Now the Roaches have taken down the barriers here, potentially waiting to take a 3rd base. As indeed he should. Let's take a look at the economy. Yeah, Dimaga's economy looking solid, 700 minerals in the bank. Definitely time for another expansion. In the meantime here, Overlord's doing a great job at spreading creep as well. And now we've got 2 evolution chambers going up for the upgrades. The Baneling speed upgrade just about finishing. The infestation pit is out. We might be looking at a hive soon too. There comes another Banshee to do a little bit of harassment. We have a Queen in the way and an Overseer coming in to deal with that. Managed to take down a couple of drones, but that's about it. Now the first expo has gone down for QXC. He's getting some defense up there, as indeed he should. Nice wall of tanks protecting it along with that barracks. And saturation is looking solid already. A turret going up in a somewhat intriguing place. I wonder why he's not placing the turret back here. In the meantime, Dimaga has grabbed his 3rd base as well. So he's staying abreast of things in the economy side. As we all know by now, Zerg do need to have 1 more base than their opponents to stay abreast of things, and Dimaga keeping up with his macro game here. Upgrades coming for both players, or actually for the Terran for the time being. Terran infantry along with Stimpack now being upgraded. Few Marauders now starting to pop out as well. It looks like there's going to be a bit of a transition now to a Marauder tank heavy build. We have a few more barracks out. All of them have tech labs on it, so we can certainly see Marauders on the way there. And we have a starport that currently is producing nothing. I would imagine that there will be some transition to Vikings at some point, but so far nothing going on. Upgrades now coming out also for Dimaga. Alright, so doing an excellent job with the creep spread while all this is going on. Nice to have 5 queens hanging around on the map. Seems to have missed out on 1 lava injection there. Now what was it that got shot off there? I didn't actually see. Let's take a look. We have a queen hanging out over here as well. Gas has gone up there as well, as indeed it should. Looking solid on the minerals and gas. No production happening for Dimaga right now. Maybe he's a little undecided on what to produce. We have a nice bunch of infestors, lings and banelings hanging out over here, and we have a serious push coming in. Stimpack is finished, so a nice timing push coming in here from QXC. A barracks going up there in the middle. So going to be protecting the gold expansion, I take it as well, while he tries to take it. And let's see how we do here. Now this is a very irritating thing for Zerg on this map. You can park these siege tanks up here and do a lot of havoc at this expansion. 2 queens are going down. Or are they? Is that queen gonna make it? It doesn't look like it. There it goes down finally. We have banelings taking down that tank and along with some Zerglings. Infestors coming in to deal with the Marauders. Let's see if there's enough infestors. Some infested Terrans going up there to deal with that as well. This tank still providing a bit of harassment. That is an irritation. But it looks like a large portion of that army has been wiped out. But at the same time, this expansion is in trouble. All those drones are dead. The gas is going. A few more banelings morphing over here. And Dimaga is having a bit of a lull there. Let's see if he manages to take this down. Yep, the Zerglings coming in to finish off those Marauders. That's the end of that. Those tanks look like their lives might be... well, actually, there's another barracks going up here. Oh, infested Terrans popping up all over the place. Let's see how this goes. A couple of the infestors lost there as well. But is this going to be enough to deal with this? I think not. There's backup coming in from the north there for Dimaga. That expansion is well and truly dead, and he won't be able to pick that up again anytime soon. The Overseer going down as well. Now we have a bit of a siege line here from QXC, who's doing a good job at maintaining that defensive position. Now the question is, how will Dimaga adapt to this? He has 24 banelings coming out, 6 infestors. In the meantime, the Terran is also getting a few upgrades along with more units. Now this is going to be where the battle lines are going to be drawn for the time being. The question is, this base point right here, will Dimaga be able to grab it back, and will QXC go for this gold expansion position, which he will defend with from both sides? It is yet to be seen. What do we have? We're going over here. We've got a medevac drop heading this way. At the same time, Dimaga has grabbed the expansion over here, but the medevac did not spot it. The Overlord will now spot that medevac over there. So let's see how the response happens. Here comes banelings, infestors. That medevac is gonna have a tough time dropping anywhere, but he's gonna go for it anyway. Or is he? Infestors getting there first, dumping a few infested Terrans along with a fungal growth. Is that infestor going to make it out of there? Or the medevac rather? I don't think so. It looks like it's dead along with its cargo. That was an expensive loss there for QXC. In the meantime, we have this gold expansion being grabbed by QXC in order to stay ahead economy-wise. We have a couple of Marines coming up. That site has indeed been sighted. We have a few more Marines in the Marauder heading there, but the fast-moving Lings on the creep will deal with that. So that expansion should be reasonably safe. Those Marines going down in a hurry along with this Marine Marauder little push as well. So that was easily defended. In the meantime, however, there's more coming in. A huge batch of Marauders along with some Marines coming in. In fact, dividing up their flow a little bit. As these Marines are heading for that bunker, it looks like. Yes, indeed. And that bunker's manned as well. These Marauders are more than enough to deal with those Lings. If they are still there. They are not. Oh, actually, he's going right past them. In the meantime, more defensive units coming in to help out. Not a huge army on either party side. Yep, they're coming in from the north there, the Marauders. They have stimmed and they're going in to try to take down this expansion. The Banelings are going to be there and take down the entire lot. No chance whatsoever. A Baneling bust on a bunch of Marauders and that was the end of that. This expansion is protected and alive. Now let's see if we can get into a mining stage, because right now it is making absolutely no money for Dimaga whatsoever. Now the gold expansion going up simultaneously for Dimaga as well. This is going to be difficult to defend on two sides, but let's see how Dimaga manages. A planetary fortress has come out for QXC, and that is some serious mining going on the gold. 64 Zerglings on the way, along with a hive, and then also upgrades for Dimaga. Using his minerals and his gas well. Is this yet another expansion? QXC is trying to expand all over the place, but there is a Zergling in the way. An entire battalion of Marines are coming in to take that Zergling out. It has, well, no chance whatsoever. Down goes the Terran Command Center, and yet another base is established. Now we are officially running out of bases on this map. There is just the one base left to contend, if at all. Everything else has been taken. And Dimaga is gonna need to do something about this line over here in order to make sure he can gather that base point securely. Now back at the main base, not a whole lot going on here. Nothing's changed from last we looked. We have a few more barracks that have come up here at the first expansion point. A factory with a tech lab on there as well, and another barracks in the way of that entry point. Good work there from QXC all around to guard his entrances and exits. The army size now starting to become pretty large. Doing a bit of a scan before he pops in. The infestors coming in to do some damage. There's the fungal growth. Love the level of distance on that. Couple more infestors going down. The mass of Zerglings. The swarm is coming into a, well, swarm. Those tanks are going down like nobody's business. Fully upgraded Lings are hard to do anything with. That's another tank going down. Is this planetary fortress going to go down as well? It is possible. That's another tank going down. The whole army of QXC has been mowed away by the 64 Lings. That planetary fortress is on its last legs. There it goes, it's finished. And that base has been taken down by Dimaga. That is an expensive loss for QXC because he had built the entire thing. He had built the planetary fortress. He had started mining and he just wound up losing everything. More Banelings being morphed in here. Dimaga waiting for that rush of Marines and Marauders to come in. They're taking the long route back into the north end of the third expansion here for Dimaga. Let's see if Dimaga can spot that in time. Indeed he does. He has a Zergling hanging out there, so he knows exactly what's going on. And QXC immediately backs off. Have a massive amount of Banelings hanging out here. We've got even more upgrades coming in now at the 3-3 level. The fungal growth dealing with these irritating Hellions, and we've got Ultralisks now coming out as well. Keep in mind, no air units. Neither side has gone for any kind of air units. We have a little posse of Marauders coming in, stimming to try to take out this hatchery. Is it going to make it? We have Banelings coming in from the south. They will get there in time. Fungal growth and Banelings deals with that, and that is the end of it. Right, over here we have yet another little push coming in as well at the gold. Are they going to be able to make it over here in time? Stimmed Marauders do a huge amount of damage. That gas looks like it might be going down. The Queen is dead, but the Lings are coming in to finish it off. That tank providing a little bit of defense, but nonetheless, there has been a little bit of unit exchange there. A few Marauders went down to a few Lings, along with that gas and a Queen. So the QXC came up on top there. A Spine Crawler coming up here at the gold, and Ultralisk coming in now finally to take out that expansion point. Some siege tanks now firing on their own due to the fanciful work of these infestors putting down a neural parasite. Great work there by QXC, or rather by Dimaga. And again, neural parasite going down on that one tank. keeping it still while it's been destroyed by the Lings. Great work by Dimaga there. The entire unit group has been dispatched. A little posse came in from the north once again, and that hatchery has indeed been taken down. So QXC doing a successful run to pull down that mineral mining hatchery. Great work there while he is re-establishing his base over here. This is a back and forth exciting game, my friends. But stuff happening all over the place. But so far, Dimaga looks like he is not only holding his own, but is slightly ahead, taking this entire south side of the map as his own, and churning out these units. More upgrades coming in for both sides. But let's take a look at the income now. We see that Dimaga is slightly behind still, but nonetheless is holding his own on unit count. So let's take a look at the units. Yes, we have 27 Zerglings. We have 4 Infestors, 7 Ultralisks, 11 Banelings versus only 17 Marauders and 7 tanks. Oh, 41 Marines in there that I missed. So it looks actually like it's pretty much even. Let's see how this winds up going. We have a few Marauders coming in to take out this base as it builds, along with yet another tank. You see how difficult it is for Zerg to defend this position. It's just insanely difficult to get that base up and running and going properly and well defended. But now we have a whole bunch of Ultralisks, we have a bunch of Banelings. That tank has been taken down. Now surely it must be possible to get this base safely. We have a little Marauder drop happening over there as well. Fungal growth coming in to mess with that medevac. Is it going to make it out of there alive? It doesn't look like it. Those Marauders are going down as well. The medevac down to its last blip of health now. Is it going to die? It does indeed die. It doesn't make it at all. We have a Marine sitting here watching that last base that is yet to be grabbed from either side. And we have a massive ball of Marines and Marauders coming in here with some tank support. Now the question is, where is it going? Another planetary fortress has been put down here at the gold, but he is running out. He's running out of minerals on the gold. He has already run out at the main, and he has already run out at the secondary. Right, so there's only 2 mining bases really, and yet again this planetary fortress looks like it's heading down. Those Lings making short work of those tanks. An Infestor dying there, but that planetary fortress is toast. Look at the amount of Ultralisks there. There's absolutely no way that's going to be defended against. Infestors and Ultralisks cleaning up here. A couple of tanks on the high ground here, nicely positioned. But in free space, taking pot shots at the Ultralisks as they run by. But you can't stop an army of Ultras like this in any kind of intelligently fast way. Here they go, mowing through that entire base. This looks like this base is on its last legs. We have buildings flying into the air to save themselves. Yep, that base is goners. Now, is this a GG from QXC? I think it might well be. Those Ultralisks are wrecking huge amount of damage. They are now heading into the main base as well, running after those Marauders. This is looking completely ugly. This has got to be the end of it. A valiant fight there from QXC. Some great guerrilla warfare happening throughout the game. But Dimaga held his own and appears to be taking this game solidly. Look at that family of Ultralisks. That is just hilarious. Manages to lift that factory up just in time, but unless he gets that repaired, he's going to die in mid-flight. It's a massive Ultralisk fiesta here in the main base. A few more orders coming in to try to do some last-minute pot-shotting, but I think that this is going to be a very, very difficult recovery for QXC, if indeed he manages it all. And I never use Ultralisks myself. I think I may need to change my idea about that. There is the GG from QXC, and he has left the game. So there you go, boys and girls. I accidentally hit the rewind button, but there you go. Right, I hope you all enjoyed this game very much. That was a very, very fast-paced and all over the map kind of game. Always exciting to see those things. If you like them, do like, dislike, comment, and subscribe, and the other YouTube stuff that you do. It really does help the channel. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye for now.